Welcome back to Taiwan Now Look. Our guest today is Mr. C.Y. Huang. He's the Vice Chairperson and President of Greater China of the Investment Banking of Polaris Financial Group. Mr. Huang, we've been talking about the regional economic prospect. How about the investment banking sector? Is that still a booming sector in the region, in the world?
I think there are lots of investment banking activities in the region. But however, if you want to compare last year with this year, this year, certainly the equity market has slowed down quite a lot. Last year, there are so many, for example, companies went IPOs in Hong Kong. And every IPO investor made money. But this year, so far, there are a dozen IPOs. At least two-thirds of them lost money or fell below the IPO price in its first day of trading. So we are facing a very dramatic, different landscape compared with last year. So we're talking about investment banking. The fundraising activity definitely has come down. But however, we see the pickup of merger acquisition activities. Companies are going abroad to make acquisitions. If China, in particular, you have seen China made acquisition of banks, of the asset management companies, and you see China take a stake in the global Brazil mining companies. So we see as the regional economy continue to consolidate, we will see more activities in the merger acquisition front.
So we are in a period of readjustment and restructuring.
Absolutely, this is an adjustment.
How long will that take?
I think it will take at least 3 years, 2-3 years from now. It is the readjustment and repositioning. Every company needs to have its new business model. It cannot just do things in the past. In the past, people just raising money, giving the money, giving the money. But now the key thing is how do you spend the money?
That's right.
And for Taiwan, I think it is very important. Taiwan companies made acquisition globally. In areas buying a brand, buying technology or buying marketing channel. I think in the past, Taiwanese company is very good in doing manufacturing. But I think the new challenge for Taiwanese company is how to compete globally and how to operate globally. And also, Taiwanese need to learn the global M&A game, as the Chinese and the Indians are very good at.
In which area or in which sector does that kind of acquisition happen?
We are seeing, two direction of the acquisition. One is foreign money investing into Taiwan. Another is Taiwanese investing abroad. Let me talk about the first. Foreign money investing into Taiwan. I think this year the interest will be continue to be very strong. Last year there are at least 10 banks being bought by either international banks or private equity firms. All the Citibank, HSBC, DBS, Standard Chartered, all the banks, even Polaris. We sold our bank to Citi, last year, and the year before we sold our insurance company to AIG. So these sort of consolidation, I think the foreigners still have a very strong interest in Taiwan. But I foresee the banking and investment activities will slow down. People will turn their attention into other manufacturing as well as technology sectors. I think a lot of foreign money view Taiwan as the bridge or the stepping stone to China. So their idea of investing Taiwan is not for the Taiwan economy alone. It is actually want to utilize the people, utilize the resources, using this as a base to connect into China.
How about Taiwan money going to other places?
Taiwan money going to other places. This is the things I want to talk about is gradually picking up. But I think that Taiwanese could do and should do better. Because most people, for them, is really not that they don't have money, but they are not bold enough to make acquisition. They always feel, this is in Germany, I don't know how to operate a German company, or this is in Australia, I don't know how to operate. But look at the PRC Chinese, they have penetrated into many different regions. Look at India. So I think Taiwan, is a very international country. Taiwan has been very international in the past. I think in the future, Taiwan, as we are transforming our economy from OEM manufacturing base to the global marketing, to brand, to channel, we ought to do more global expansion as well as global M&As.
But some people argue that the tradition of Taiwan's enterprises are mainly small and medium-sized based, and we don't really have many multinational corporations. So that hurt Taiwan's competitiveness in terms of acquisition and so on. Do you think that's the case?
I think first of all, I like to say to be global, to be competitive, you don't really need to be a multinational. We see many competitive Taiwanese companies. They have operations, all over the world. They are sometimes even more international compared with some IT companies. They start from marketing, manufacturing, even to the global distribution. But however, I do have to acknowledge that size scale is very important. So Taiwanese companies need to increase their scale. And I think the good way to do it is teaming up with others, find strategic partner. In the past, Taiwanese companies love to do everything by themselves. I think this ought to be changed in the future. Foreign money as well as foreign strategic cooperation has a lot of confidence of Taiwan. I see many of them would like to team up with Taiwanese company, for example, to penetrate into the China market. So there's a certain skill set. Taiwanese companies are just very good. Taiwanese are good running internationally, but on the other hand, Taiwanese also know how to operate efficiently in China. So we gotta exploit our talent and make our business truly global.
Let's talk about Taiwan's financial sector. As we know that for the past few years, our government has introduced the so-called financial reform, trying to create bigger size of our financial banking sector. How do you see the result of the reform?
I think the result is respectable. Although it's far from satisfactory, I think there's more room for improvement. Anyhow, if you look at the banks, there are still 40 commercial banks in Taiwan. There are still 40 fund management companies. There are 20-something insurance companies. Even financial holding companies, there are 14. So I think there are further room for consolidation. For a region country with 23 million population. But I think we have achieved a lot. As I said earlier, 10 Taiwanese banks, they has been invested by foreign private equity as well as the multinational banks. I think foreign money as well as foreign player definitely see the value, not only for domestic consolidation, but also for using Taiwan as a base to getting to China.
Yeah, but apparently to compete, it depends not only on size, but also on the innovation as well. How does the trend now develop in this particular sector, financial sector?
I think the innovation is very important. At Polaris, we are famous for innovation. We are strong in options, futures, warrants, and we are the pioneer in ETF, exchange traded funds. As Taiwan opened up the market for the first time now, there are lots of money are interested in Taiwan, but people don't know how to invest in Taiwan. So our innovative product, ETF, we plan to bring that to list in Singapore in the third quarter of this year and list in Hong Kong in the fourth quarter of this year. So financial innovation is very important, and you need to innovate in order to differentiate from other people. There are so many competitors. So how do you excel? How do you differentiate? By innovation.
But do you think that Taiwan's financial banking sector in particular is innovative enough to compete with other banks in other countries?
Not really. I think earlier we talked about globalization. Funny, that Taiwanese investor is a very international. Taiwanese investor love to international everywhere else in the world. Taiwanese company very international. We trade and we deal with many international companies. But the Taiwanese companies or Taiwanese banks are not good at operating globally. So if you want to open up a branch in Hong Kong or set up an office in New York or open up a joint venture in London, we're not good at that. Maybe we should not go that far. But even if just in the Asia Pacific region, I think in Hong Kong, in other places, I think there are great room for improvement. We ourselves at Polaris this year, we're gonna set up an office in Vietnam because there are many Taiwanese companies going to Vietnam. We are opening up a branch in Singapore. So we also try to have a better regional strategy. I'm not there to say global strategy, but I think regional strategy is something as a first step, Taiwanese financial institution ought to take close.
Some people criticize that our government has been too much protecting the financial sector in Taiwan, and that's the reason why we are not that competitive now. So we need to open our market. Do you think our market now, domestic market, is open enough to create more competitiveness in our banking sector?
I would say the Taiwan market is a very open. Otherwise, how would you see so many players? In Taiwan. The key thing is that there are too many players. But the problem is there are not enough companies that have a unique business model. Everybody is so similar. So in the end, everybody has to enter into price competition. Margin gets squeezed. Everybody competing on very low fee. Taiwanese, I would say, the investors as well as corporation probably receive some of the very best banking services in the world because everybody are trying hard to service them, to stand out from 10 dozen competitors. But I think we ought to broaden our vision. We should not just look at Taiwan per se. So I would say just in doing Taiwan alone is doing very good. But look at the other market. They are such a big market in China. But what about the other global Chinese market in Hong Kong, in Singapore, or in even Malaysia? There are many Chinese-speaking countries. So Taiwanese banks, I think the future is not just treating Taiwan as the battleground. We ought to look at expanding into other markets. We have the talent, we have the technology, and then we have to export our technology, our people, to elsewhere in the region.
Is Taiwan a latecomer in terms of opening offshore units or even branches abroad in comparison with Hong Kong and Singaporean banks?
Oh, definitely. Taiwan, you see that Taiwanese, we are just talking about China, Hong Kong. Of course, in the last, the 8 years or say 12 years, there are restrictions due to the government's policy. You see so many Taiwanese companies moving to China. But, are there any, good Taiwanese banks? Are there any, good Taiwanese securities company going there hand in hand with these companies and really providing the capital support to them? Very few. We cannot even open the subsidiary there in China. We can only open a representative office. So that limits the capability, and also that I think it's the mindset of the people. People here are just so used to doing the Taiwan market. But I think in the future, the key word is Greater China. That's why, for example, we at Polaris, I cover the Greater China region. We help not only Taiwanese companies in Taiwan, but also Taiwanese companies in China, as well as Chinese PRC private sector companies. I think in the future, those financial institutions, whether they are in wholesale or retail, but it is those financial institutions who are able to provide a Greater China cross-region, cross-border services to institutional as well as retail customers are going to be the winner.
And with the inauguration of the new government, people are expecting that there will be a lifting of restrictions over some of the economic or even financial exchanges between the two sides of Taiwan Strait. So when we come back, we'll talk about our investment strategies in the China market.
Okay.
And stay with us. We'll be back after these 4 minutes.